Hey, you guys, I'm back. I think I've been gone for like 2 weeks or so. We went out of town, and this is actually a good real world test of this book because my last video was we went over the first part of this book, Myrtle Volume 1. Um, it was the how to solve, and then we looked at the first section, elementary. Um, Went over a couple of those because what this book is sections where it gets harder and harder to solve them. And while we were out of town, I took this book and I actually did all of the elementary section. So I think I did like a couple here with you guys, and then I went through and I did all of these. It's there. This book is, I think, really funny, really it's cohesive, like it all flows together. You flip to the back of the book and it has the answers, and and the hints are just comical. It's really funny and entertaining. I liked it a lot. So just for the sake of going back over um what we did last time. So there's elementary, occult, medium, hard boiled, and impossible. So I completed all except one. Left one on the elementary. Just to go over this one with y'all, so you could just see it again. Let me open this up here. And I completed all the other 25. Um, Either when we got home from our trip or while we were gone. But just in downtime, while we were out of town, it was just nice to just have this instead of staring at your phone, doing something on your phone. You just have these lights in your eyes all day. It was just nicer to have something like this to just crack open and be able to do. I like doing that a lot better, especially if my kids are around. It's, I don't know, sometimes I feel like we all have so much to do on our phones, our banking, our texting, our calling. So it's nice to be able to just have paper in your hands and be able to just like do puzzles and fun things, physically with an actual book. So let's do, this is the last elementary puzzle in this section, in the elementary section. So we'll do this one and then I'll show you the next section as it, gets progressively harder. So this is puzzle 25, the death of justice. And again, like the puzzles 1 through 25, they kind of all run together. So, you've had some of the same suspects, some of the suspects have died and yet come back. It's pretty funny. So, it says almost immediately after Dame Obsidian had been incarcerated, Logico got a call from the luxurious white collar jail to which she had been sentenced, and he learned that she had been murdered herself. Was that justice? Was that fate? All he knew was it was a mystery. Oh, let me see if I can scoot this back slightly. Okay. The Secretary of Defense. Oh, sorry. All right, starting here. Secretary Celadon, the Secretary of Defense, and someone who is personally responsible for a number of international incidents, some of which are now named after her. 5'6", left-handed, green eyes, light brown hair. The amazing. Oh man, I had a hard time with this too. Aurelion, Aurol, Ar, Arolin, Erilyn, the amazing Erilyn. She blames Dame Obsidian for her incarceration, which makes sense since Dame Obsidian framed her. 5'6", left-handed, green eyes, blonde hair. Miss Saffron. Miss Saffron also blames Dame Obsidian, though it's a little less sympathetic coming from her because she was actually guilty. 5'2", left-handed, hazel eyes, blonde hair. The locations. The spa, built with money from the PTA, Prisoner Treats Association, although tax dollars do pay to heat it. The parking lot, outdoors, prisoners can pay to park their luxury vehicles here for the duration of their stay. A private suite. If you have enough money you can upgrade to a private suite with a big screen TV, hot tub, and open bar. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, it's kind of funny. Actually, it is just funny. Like everything is just humorous. It's funny. Okay. Weapons: a $250,000 lawyer, heavyweight, the most dangerous weapon of all, and the most expensive. A rope made of designer clothes, medium weight. When you need a rope, but all you have are designer clothes. A pair of golden handcuffs, heavyweight. This is taking the metaphor too far. All right. Clues and evidence. All right. So as we go through this, we use the grid, locations, weapons, suspects, and locations again over here to figure out who did it and all that. And again, this is elementary, so it probably will seem overly simplistic. I still think it's really fun. All right, clues and evidence. Somebody passed Logico a slip of paper on which a jumbled message was written. Okay, so this is literally just scrambled. It says EWLASWATELWREYROODISN. So unscrambled, it says we all saw the lawyer indoors. The lawyer indoors. I'm pretty sure that is what it says. Unscrambled. We all saw the lawyer indoors, which means the lawyer, this guy, was not outside. Outside in the parking lot. So I just scratch off this box. So we know for sure he was not, and the other two places, a private suite is indoors and the spa are both indoors as well. So he was in one of those instead. Secretary Celadon had a pair of custom-made golden handcuffs. Okay, so they just are telling us Secretary Celadon had the handcuffs. So I put an X there and scratch out. I'm scratching these out because Celadon, this is more about exclusion. You're excluding everything, all the other possibilities, and that's how you figure out what's really actually going on. So no one else can have the handcuffs, so scratch that out. And Celadon can't have any other weapons, so scratch those out. Next clue. The detective club sent Logico a card in detective code that read, oh no, I have to flip back to Exhibit A. Okay, so this one, oops, I rocked my table. This one, the detective club sent Logico a card in detective code that read, and then this. And what this is it's the alphabet inverted. So Z is A, see right here, the decoded. Z is A, B is Y, X is C, that sort of thing. Okay, let me see. Can be read. Okay, GSV is GSV. T H. Yeah, GSV is THE, the. Wait, no, I'm backwards. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm right. I'm sorry. The. Oh, and the is written a couple times. Oh boy. I have no room to write here. The blank. HSL. HSL. That's interesting. S, H, and S are inverted. So SHO. SHO. IGRT E. So V is E. We know that from. I can't take it. Let me grab a little piece of paper to write on. All right, trusty paper. All right. The shorter, that's what that one is saying. The SHOR, or act, I'm sorry. I'm way jumping ahead. SHORT, and then V is E. E. It's probably short est. Yeah, it's est. H is S, G is T. Alrighty. H is S. The shortest, it's going to be S. And F is U, I think. F is U, the shortest. So this next word is suspect. SUSPECT. DZH. DZH is WAS. The shortest suspect was IVO. IVO is REL. Was RELA. IVOZ. So Z is A. C is going to be, relaxing. RELAX. ING. Relaxing. RM is R is I. M is N. Relaxing in. GSV is the again. In the. HKZ is spa. W in the spa. WFI equals D U I is R. Spa DURING. T is G, correct? Yes. During the MURDER. Okay. Alrighty. So now we have this coded message. Undecoded says the shortest suspect was relaxing in the spa during the murder. All right. The shortest suspect was Miss Saffron, who is 5'2". The other two suspects are 5'6". Saffron was in the spa. All right. So actually what that means is that Celadon, who has the handcuffs, was not in the spa. So I can actually cross that off as well. I know that there's a faster way where you put an X and a check mark, but when something is wrong, you put an X, and then when something's right, you put a check mark, but my brain doesn't like that. I'd rather just totally cover it up if it's incorrect. So we know for a fact that these handcuffs are not in the spa because Celadon has them, who is not in the spa. The only person in the spa is Miss Saffron. So I'm going to scratch that off as well. All right. The amazing Areolin I don't know what that says, could not afford the private suite on her magician's salary. The amazing was not in the private suite. All right, so if this is scratched off, the only place the amazing magician could be was in the parking lot. That makes her parking lot. That makes Celadon the private suite, which means that we know the handcuffs are in the private suite. So let's cross that off here. Cross that off here. All right, so this tells us even more because there's only one weapon. There's only one weapon that could have been in the parking lot, and that is the rope made of designer clothing. And then the $250,000 lawyer was in the spa, which means that Miss Saffron has the $1 million lawyer and the magician has the rope, which actually makes a whole bunch of sense. Okay, and then the last clue is actually will answer who did it, where, with what. Dame Obsidian was found with a rope of designer clothes around her neck. Okay, so the person with the designer clothes, the rope, committed the murder. And it just tells us the rope was the thing that did it. The rope is with the magician in the parking lot. Magician and where? Parking lot. Okay. So I'm gonna flip to, like, let's say we hadn't just done it all and we had stopped for a hint. I'll flip to the hints section to give you an example of the hints you would get in the book. So that was 25. So right here, oh, it says Deductive Logico received a text that simply said, "You're on your own here." Okay, that's funny because I don't think any of the other hints say stuff like that. Okay, it actually gives you a real hint. All right, so right here, it says it was the amazing Ariolin with a rope of designer clothes in the parking lot. Ha, yes, it was. I did it. Finally, she put me in jail, but I had my revenge. Logico walked home that night and couldn't help but feel bad for Dame Obsidian. After all, she had a certain charm to her, even if she was a serial murderer. When he got back to his office, he found a message waiting for him. It was written in one of the codes he had encountered before, but which one? Let me see. I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm looking at this right here. I don't know, actually. SGZS. Here, let's flip to the very beginning and see if that says anything. SGES, which would be HT VH. Okay, yeah, so that doesn't make sense. I'm not sure what this says. And to be honest, it would probably be quite boring to watch me try to figure it out. So I will not do that right now. I will do that another time. All right. So we have finished the section, the elementary section. That was the last puzzle. So all 25 puzzles previous to this were all really similar to this one. You have the three quadrants, you have your suspects, locations. It's all about the same. So now we're moving to the next section called occult medium. I don't know what occult medium means in this context. I do not endorse occults nor mediums. So let's just read what this has to say. I think it's almost saying like you have to be, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Sorry, I'm moving my camera for just a sec. Sorry, guys. I know it's horrible. All right. I just thought it could be centered a little better. Okay, there we go. Occult medium. All right. Over the next 25 mysteries, Deductive Logico investigated some of the strangest phenomena in the world, including astrology, alchemy, and aliens. But one thing remained the same. Wherever Logico went, murder seemed to follow. To help untangle the high strangeness of the next 25 puzzles, Logico was aided by his astrological and alchemical primer, Exhibit B, seen to the left, which provided him with the key information he needed to solve these often unsettling cases. Logico didn't believe in the occult, but he also didn't believe in turning down free help because the mysteries were getting harder too. In these mysteries, you must examine the statements of the suspects in addition to the clues and evidence. This can be rather confusing, but fortunately, you can count on this. The murderer will always lie, and the other suspects will always tell the truth. Sometimes you'll be able to spot the lie right away. Other times, you might need to think through the logic of what one person lying would mean. Other times, you may need to test every suspect to see if it's possible for them to be lying while everyone else is telling the truth. The one and only liar will always be the murderer. For those who want it to be even harder, feel free to take the Detective Club's All in the Mind challenge. Try to solve each of the following 25 puzzles without using a pencil, working entirely in your head, and without getting a single accusation wrong. Prior to publication, we couldn't find a single detective who could do it. Can you? Nope. I don't think I can. So we're just going to do this normal. Okay. All right. So I actually have gone and done some of these just because it was fun and I liked it. So that's a good indication that I think this is a really good book worth getting. I hope y'all try it out too. So to show you an example of this section that we're now in, since we're out of the elementary section now, um, let's do one of these together. So this is puzzle 26, The Murder of a Mailman. Deductive Logico went to check his P.O. box, but instead of finding a royalty check for Murder Volume 1, he found a mailman had been killed and the whole place was closed. Neither rain nor shine, thought Logico, but they closed at the first sign of murder. All right, suspects. Dr. Crimson. She's the smartest doctor she's ever met, according to her, and she's probably right. Yeah, her diet is horrible, but if she has a heart attack, she'll operate on herself. 5'9", left-handed, green eyes, red hair, Aquarius. Mayor Honey. He knows where the bodies are buried, and he makes sure they always vote for him. 6 foot, left-handed, hazel eyes, light brown hair, Scorpio. General Coffee, an espresso connoisseur who prefers the smell of coffee to napalm in the morning. 6 foot, right-handed, dark brown eyes, bald, Sagittarius. A mail truck. Indoors, practically indestructible, so it's great for joyrides so long as you're not the one paying for gas. The long line. People standing in line waiting to mail their letters. Okay, so I missed that. The long line outdoors. The sorting room indoors, where the postal workers sort the junk mail, bills, and catalogs using a great machine. All right, weapons up here at the top. A letter opener, lightweight. A sharp knife used by people who won't just rip their letters open. A stamp, medium weight. A stamp for stamping over stamps. With a heavy package, heavyweight. With a nice red ribbon that'll conceal blood stains. Clues and evidence. Okay, so these are the statements that are completely true. You can trust them. Clues and evidence right here. These statements are all taken from the suspects, and one of them is wrong. All right, so I'm going to read right here. Letter openers were not allowed in the sorting room ever since the incident, and that rule was not broken today. All right, so that tells us the letter opener was not in the sorting room. So let's just cross that off. The suspect with the heavy package was self-conscious about their baldness and prefer it not be mentioned in clues. See, it's kind of funny. Okay. The suspect with the heavy package was self-conscious about their baldness, and that would be General Coffee, who was bald. So, General Coffee had the heavy package. See, it's just kind of funny. I think that this was really really well written. It's all very just humorous and funny. Um, I like it. Even like the hints. And I will say, when I was doing the elementary stuff on my vacation, or when I was out of town, it was a vacation. Well, a vacation for my kids. It wasn't a vacation for me. That's not how it works when you're a parent. But I would forget to check if I was right or wrong after I did it, because I was like, oh, these are so easy. And then I would check back and look, and I would be wrong several times just because I thought it was so easy and I took it for granted. So it's just kind of funny. It's just kind of funny when you don't actually pay attention, even if it's so easy. Statements. Remember, the murderer is lying. The others are telling the truth. Dr. Crimson. I brought a stamp. Mayor Honey. Dr. Crimson was not in a mail truck. Mayor Honey says Dr. Crimson was not in a mail truck. General Coffee says a letter opener was in the mail truck. Okay. So which of these can be false or true? Real quick, let's flip to the hints just to see what kind of hint they would give us. And I like reading the hints. Again, they're just really funny and entertaining. The hint for this one is Logico finally checked his mail and found a mysterious red envelope. On the outside, someone had scrawled, "You can trust Mayor Honey." Okay, that's interesting. So right off the bat, they're just telling us. All right, so Mayor Honey is trustworthy, which means that Dr. Crimson was not in the mail truck. All right, so Dr. Crimson was not in the mail truck. So we can trust that, okay? Dr. Crimson, I brought a stamped General Coffee. A letter opener was in the mail truck. Okay, so which of these can be false? If Dr. Crimson says, I brought a stamp, but she did not, that means she brought the dagger or the letter opener. I think, okay. If she brought the stamp, a letter opener was in the mail truck. Okay, let's just think this through. I brought a stamp. Okay, let's say she has the stamp. That means the letter opener was not in the mail truck, and it would have been in the long line. I brought a stamp. I think that actually must be true. I brought a stamp because and General Coffee brought a letter opener was in the mail truck, which means it was not in the mail truck. Oh, I'm pretty sure it's I brought a stamp. So if I mark this here, that would mean that was correct, and this dude is the murderer. A letter opener was in the mail truck, which means it was not. So this the letter opener was in the mail truck, which means it would not be in the mail truck. I'll scratch off a little bit. That would screw that. Oh no, that means it would be here in the line. Okay, I'm pretty sure that is it, because the letter opener can't be in the mail truck. If it's in the mail truck, that means he would have it. And he would be in the mail truck, right? Oh, no. She would have the dagger and she would be in the mail truck. So that's not possible. That's why. All right, we got it. it is General Coffee is the one who is lying, because this dagger has to be in the mail truck. And if that's the case, because for him, a letter opener to be in the mail truck, as General Coffee says, that means Dr. Crimson would have to be the liar, um, and she would have had to brought the dagger, and that's not possible. Okay, a letter opener was in the mail truck. No, it was not. It was not in there. Um, the mail truck has the does not have the dagger. I messed up. I'm so dumb. A letter opener was not in the mail truck, and I did the opposite. My bad. Hold on one second. That's why I have a okay, so I have this cute like book sleeve. And it's pretty fat. And in the back it has a pocket. So I keep in there some whiteout in case I do something like this. All right, so that was the whole point of that, was that the dagger is not in the mail truck. A letter opener was not in the mail truck because he was lying. Um, he was in the mail truck. The package, the uh, General Coffee's package, he's the one actually in the mail truck. That's as good as it's going to get. So this has an X through it. All right, so he is in the mail truck with the what is it, a heavy package, and he is the murderer because he lied about that. The dagger is in the long line, and the stamp is in the sorting room. The stamp is in the long line, and the dagger is in the sorting room. Here, let me. Okay, that's as good as we are going to have it here. There we go. Okay, so it was General Coffee. Also, something else I appreciate about this book is that it laid really flat while I had it on a desk. Even though it's such a thick book, it laid really flat and was just really nice to write in uh, when I was doing it at an actual desk. General Coffee had the heavy package in the truck, in the mail truck. All right, so like I say, when I was doing the elementary section all by myself, I would totally get some wrong just because I was like, oh yeah, that's easy. And I would just, blow and go through it, and it was funny. All right. So I wouldn't check back here to see if I got it right. And so now I always check. 26. It was General Coffee with a heavy package in the mail truck. A good soldier admits when he's defeated, General Coffee admitted. But Logico wasn't listening. He was reading a letter he'd received. It still wasn't his royalty check. It was an invitation asking him to travel across the world to a mysterious place called the Investigation Institute and meet with their president. And it made a great argument. Money. So that's funny. All right. So that is all we are going to do today. That second, just getting into the second section of the Myrtle book. So as you can see, it adds another layer of how hard it is by adding that one of them is the murderer by lying, and so you can't believe all the clues you're being given. So next time I'll probably go into the third section, and I'll just keep letting y'all know if I'm enjoying it, which I am, and I like this book a lot. Hopefully y'all do too. That's all I have for today, and also I guess that's not all I have for today. Um, if you have any suggestions for like puzzle books or puzzle games that you would like to recommend so other people me and other puzzle lovers, mystery lovers would enjoy, you think, just comment them down below so we can all get together and just do the best puzzles that are out there. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Bye bye.